Please welcome our chief guest and keynote speaker, the former Prime Minister of Malaysia, His Excellency Tun Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad.
Mr. Claude Pereira, President CIMA of Sri Lanka, the Honorable Lakshman Kadigama, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Sri Lanka, Professor Roland Kay, President of CIMA, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to thank the Foreign Minister for his kind words. I had hoped to hide the fact that I'm approaching 80. Now, all the girls will look the other way. I would like to thank the CIMA Global Leaders Summit 2005 for this invitation to talk about Malaysia and its pursuit of development. Malaysia's development strategy is, of course, far from perfect, but there is no harm in seeking or aiming for perfection. If you fall short, and it is most likely that you will fall short, it will not be too far from perfection. Certainly, it would be better than where you started off. Perfection in itself is a vision. It is the ideal that we seek. And the ideal needs to be visualized and to guide us. The ideal is what we aim at. It is therefore the target, the objective. If we want to go anywhere, we must decide the place that we are going to go to. Otherwise, we would not know the direction. We may even be going away from the target place, believing that we are going there. We must also know where we come from. Where we come from is history. Therefore, we must know our history. And knowing our history, we will know our past mistakes. And we must try to avoid them. It was George Santayana who said those who forget the lessons of history will be condemned to repeat their mistakes over and over again. In setting out on our journey to our ideal, our target, our objective, we don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past. That way, we will reach our objective earlier. And so, in the pursuit of economic development, we must decide on the target. Malaysia was not overly ambitious initially. We were an agricultural country with a per capita income of only $200 at the time we achieved independence. It would be unrealistic for us to want to become a developed country anytime in the future. We were modest. We merely wanted to create jobs for our people. Agriculture would not create the jobs. On 10 acres of land, only one job could be created. But on 10 acres of land, the manufacturing industry could create 1,000 or more jobs. The choice of objective was easy: industrialize. But how do we industrialize? We had no industrial know-how, no capital, no management skills, and no knowledge of the market to sell the products. Newly independent, we were very nationalistic, but we had to swallow national pride and invite foreign industrialists to come and start labor-intensive industries. Those were the days before FDI, or foreign direct investment, was a household word. We decided to be we decided to be foreign investor friendly. No nationalization of private enterprise. No tax on their products or profits. No bureaucratic hassles. We wanted nothing from the foreign investors except to create jobs for our people. Just that. But we gained more than that, unintentionally and unexpectedly. We found that our workers could acquire skills in manufacturing very quickly. They were productive. The quality of their products was world-class. This was a surprise. The children of farmers could do increasingly sophisticated manufacturing work. Their employers noticed this and decided on more sophistication and higher skills. Today, Malaysian workers actually supervise automated machines and ensure they are in working order. No more manual assembly work. It did not take long for the government to realize that Malaysia and Malaysians are capable of switching from agriculture to industry. And so the first industrial master plan was introduced. Soon after that came the idea of becoming a developed, industrialized country. But this is only with regard to the industrialization and development of the country. They cannot happen unless the situation permits the implementation of these plans. And the most important factor is the political stability of the country. Without stability, nothing would grow. Malaysia is a multi-ethnic country. The majority is made up of indigenous Malays and other tribal people. Then there are big Indian and Chinese minorities. The races are divided further because ethnicity is linked with religious differences, cultural and linguistic differences, and most important of all, the disparities in terms of wealth. Ethnic difference is usually enough to create tension in the relations between races. But with all the other differences, and in particular the disparities in wealth, tension and confrontation between the races would seem inevitable. Violence is very common in multiracial societies. So, early during the struggle for independence, the founding fathers worked out a system of sharing both political power and economic wealth. The philosophy is very simple. If one race grabs all political or economic power for itself, there would be strong antagonism from the other races. There would be political instability, and there would be violent confrontations. No economic growth or development could take place. In that situation, the race which takes all for itself will find that it would be owning all of nothing, all of a country that is politically unstable, perhaps involved in civil war, and with an economy that not only failed to grow, but could actually be shrinking. So in the end, the race which grabs everything